What platform will win 2017? Let's look at all the exclusive games per platform. Zach Sharp here to join me to do that. Hey Zach, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm doing great. Let's talk about which will reign supreme.
Yeah, I'm super interested. So you put down a whole list in your doc, and you're gonna list like every platform so we can see what exclusive games are coming out, and then we'll discuss who we think will win 2017. So
we'll go ahead and kick it off with the PlayStation 4. It's going to have numerous titles hitting store shelves such as Gran Turismo Sport, Horizon Zero Dawn, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, possibly God of War, Detroit Human, Days Gone, Crash Bandicoot Remaster, Persona 5, and more. Now, of course, this isn't the complete lineup, but it's the highlights of the lineup. Xbox One exclusive lineup in 2017 is Crackdown 3, Scalebound, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, Halo Wars 2, Forza Motorsport 7, which was recently rumored, Halo 6, and more. Nintendo, on the other hand, is actually going to release a console called the Nintendo Switch, as we all know, alongside with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Dragon Quest XI, Project Sonic, Rhyme, Mario, and more. And then also with PC, there's not really available lists of exclusive games, but I did a little bit more digging and found some titles, plus some which were on my radar already, which are Lawbreakers, Albion Online, Revelation Online, Lineage Eternal, Lost Ark, Dark and Light, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Wolcen Lords of Mayhem, The Bard's Tale 4, Divinity Original Sin 2, and a bunch more. So, Jordan, what are your thoughts on all these platforms? Which one do you think is the best, and which is the worst?
So first I wanna get something straight. Do you really think that we will see the Final Fantasy VII remake in 2017?
If they do it in episode format like they said that they're going to, or hinted at that they're going to, I think that they could, at least by the end of 2017, release the first episode.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, and that would make a lot of sense. Also, of course, you said Nintendo is going to launch a new platform. Well, this is like a new platform. This is like their next step. While Microsoft, of course, will also have some sort of upgrade for their current platform, the Scorpio. So
yeah, I forgot to mention that. So yeah.
Yeah, but it will not have like new exclusive games. At least that's what Microsoft is saying right now. So it's not like this, new leap. I mean, it's still a leap in power, but not in games. Halo 6, you also mentioned that. So you think that they will announce it at E3 or?
Yeah, I think so, just because of the fact that they're trying to make Halo, I think, a bit more frequent, and because of that, obviously, the quality is lower, and everyone understands that Halo 5 wasn't necessarily the best, and I don't think it's going to improve, and I think that with Halo 6, they're going to probably show a trailer off at E3, and then release it holiday alongside the Scorpio.
Yeah, so they have like 2 years to make it, because obviously, the previous Halo game, Halo 5, launched in 2014. I think, I mean, they need a big game, right? They need something big to sell this Scorpio with, a new game to show off the 4K, and of course Halo is their biggest brand, so we might see that. I can totally see that. You mentioned Dragon Quest as a like Nintendo exclusive. It will also launch, as far as I know, on the PS4. So
okay.
So but still, Nintendo also has, of course, some cake. Of course, Nintendo will do like some sort of live stream. When we recorded this video, there's like, we don't know what will happen during that live stream, but we will probably see some Wii U ports as well. So they will have the Mario Kart port, probably Smash Bros, probably Super Mario Maker, Splatoon. So they have those games as well. Maybe a Pokemon game is rumored to be released in 2017. So that's super interesting, of course.
Which would be great. Which would be definitely great for the platform, that's for sure.
I think that will be their holiday title, because they have to do something right. And I think it would really help. Maybe a Monster Hunter game that's also like, I think something will happen for that in Japan. Maybe we'll see it in the West as well. Okay, to like look at the games here, I really think that yeah, of course, okay. I got an Xbox One, I got a PS4, and I will totally buy the Switch day one. So I will have all the platforms, and of course have a PC. So I think that PC is like the yeah, I don't know. If I look at those games, I mean, you all, of course, I think PC is like kind of different because yeah, that also has like a lot of games that are like services that are like platforms that will just grow in 2017. Of course, you got like yeah the biggest games like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, stuff like that will really make this platform still yeah awesome. A lot of people will play on that platform. But in terms of new games, for example, the new MMOs that are coming out, like you said, Revelations Online, it's not really that AAA title, that new MMO like we had a year with WildStar and Elder Scrolls Online in 1 year. It's not like that caliber of a game, and so I don't think that the I mean, if you really like Divinity Original Sin, of course, the second one looks really awesome. But yeah, I think that yeah, if you compare that to some of the blockbusters that are coming to, for example, the PlayStation and the Xbox, I think the PC is a little bit yeah, it can compete. And of course, that's not necessary because Sony has to sell their platform, Microsoft has to sell their platform, Nintendo as well, and you do that mainly with exclusive games that you can't play anywhere else. Of course, it's a little bit different with the Xbox because I think the new Halo game might also launch on PC. We could really see that. And yeah, State of Decay is, for example, already on the PC, right? Is
yeah,
it also
State of Decay 1 is, and I believe State of Decay 2 is confirmed to be play anywhere. So
yeah, exactly. So like Forza will maybe also be the case. I totally believe that a new Forza game is coming. I mean, they're now doing it. It really works out, and they're also like doing some esports stuff with Forza. So they want to keep that going as well. I think that a new Forza game would totally make sense, and that's also a great game to show off your new platform because the Forza games look amazing.
Yep.
So I think personally I look most forward to the PS4 lineup. I mean, Horizon is like a game that I can't wait for because it's this new IP from a studio I really like, Guerrilla Games. They of course made the Killzone games, love those games, and to see something new from them makes me really excited. And Persona 5 is also a series I hold dear to my heart, from the creators of Catherine, and Catherine is like this sort of simulate a sort of puzzle game, but with some sort of dating simulator as well, where you have like two girls, and it's an amazing game, and to see their next work is like super awesome. God of War, if that will release in 2017, I think it will, and that's also like you said, when we were not recording, like they now have the game playable from beginning to end, and normally this means that the game is pretty far along, so they now need to polish it, they need to squash all the bugs and stuff like that. So it's been in development for a pretty long time, like 2013, 14. So
yeah, and a reasonable power play would be released holiday around the same time the Scorpio's out, because that would be sort of a thing like, hey, got this God of War game over here. You don't want to buy that console over there. Come buy God of War.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that will totally help. And God of War, I mean, we saw the E3 demo. That was running on a regular PS4. So that means that if they have the 4K PS4 Pro graphics and put that next to the Scorpio games, people might see like, hey, but this looks just as good, or maybe even better in terms of like art style and stuff like that. So wait, that's on a console for $300? Okay, I'm gonna buy that. Well, the Scorpio could be $500 for all we know. So it will be super interesting. I think that PlayStation has the best lineup. It's just my personal preference. Xbox, I'm not really interested. I want to check out Skillbound, but it's not a game that I'm like dying to play. State of Decay, I didn't really like the first one, so sorry about that. Halo Wars, simply not my game. I don't really like strategy games on a console. And I think that they could have something else going on if they have this Oculus deal. So
Yeah, more,
maybe
like
during
some VR
E3.
games and stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly, because Insomnia Games, and that's my favorite developer, has already 3 games on the Oculus Rift, and to be able to play them on the Scorpio as well, I mean, it would be very expensive. Of course, you have to buy the Scorpio and the Oculus Rift, so that would be, yeah, would be super crazy. But still, it will add to their like exclusive console lineup, and I would be interested in that. So maybe then they will, yeah, gain some ground. And as for Nintendo, I think they will be fine with just their lineup, but if I could choose one platform to play on in 2017, it would totally be the PS4.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, so for me, it's pretty simple. I'm the type of person who looks at hours played and hours of enjoyment. And when I look at that, I see the PlayStation 4 with a great lineup. It's hands down a fantastic lineup. The problem I have with the whole platform and the fact that these exclusives are there is I look at all the exclusives and I'm like, okay, how much hours of enjoyment am I gonna get out of each of these games? And sure, the quality of those hours is gonna be great. It's gonna be, you know, definitely a fun experience. But then I look at the PC and I'm like, okay, well, there's a ton of games here I'm interested in. Most of them are online based. I'll be playing with friends, which means that I'll be, you know, socializing, having a good time, and experiencing very captivating experiences. Like, for example, Lost Ark looks stunning. It's an action RPG that just looks amazing. Lineage Eternal as well looks just absolutely amazing for an ARPG. Then you have Dark and Light, which is sort of like a survival-ish MMO style game that has been in development for ages and looks just jaw-dropping. Then you have Mountain Blade 2, which is sort of like a castle sieging type title that also looks really good. Then you have games like Kingdom Come Deliverance that have been in development for a while that should be releasing in 2017. I could see if it slides to 2018 though, but it looks spectacular. That game, hands down, is probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. So much attention to detail with it. And so I look at all the games that are going to be releasing on PC and all the games that are releasing on the other platforms, and I know that I'm going to be getting a lot more hours on my PC than the other platforms. So I would have to give the best lineup to the PC. When it comes to what's second though, very close second, because like I said, the quality of those hours is the PS4 because the game lineup is just really good. When it comes to the last one though, I agree with you, man. It's obviously the Xbox One here. I don't see any reason to really own an Xbox One because everything is just the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, Sea of Thieves, I guess, is new, but it looks like a 12-year-old game. Like, it
will probably be fine, but not like this AAA game. It will be $40 as well, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I guess you could probably get some enjoyment out of it, but I don't see it succeeding that greatly. Especially, I don't know, like, we talked about this before. I think that Microsoft just doesn't have the capability to release really, really great new IPs like Sony can, or like what people can do on the PC with Kickstarter, or like with Nintendo. They don't have that capability, and so you always see like the same thing, like Halo 6. You know, next, you know, in the coming years we'll see Halo 7, and then Halo 8, and then Halo 9, and then it's just, and then Forza. I love Forza, but I just got Dirt Rally, and it's like, you know, I don't need Forza in my life right now. Dirt Rally is amazing, and that was a early access title that built up over time and was just a really great title. It's a really, really good game. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't knock any of the platforms except for the Xbox One at this point because it has the most to prove in terms of games. Nintendo's never had an issue with games, and that's one thing that I can always say about them is their games are good. It's just the execution of their hardware, how they get third parties, and all that stuff.
How often they release these games.
Yeah,
it will be interesting to see the Switch like launch lineup, and then what we will get in 2017. Will there be gaps of a few months or not?
And I give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt here too, and they get a little handicap here, I guess you could say, because they're releasing a brand new platform. Because yes, the Xbox brand is going to be getting a new console, but it's not a new platform, and that's a big difference. Like you mentioned, it's not like the Scorpio is going to have exclusive games, at least right now, unless they, you know, unless it gets a huge install base and at some point, and then they start making things exclusive.
At the end, I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, it will be interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I knew we would disagree with the best. You didn't put PC as the worst though, so it's sort of probably floating there for you. And we both agree that Nintendo is floating there as well in contention.
Yeah, but if you look at the because you say I'm looking forward to a lot of PC games. I can imagine that because you want to play that with friends, that there are also like the MMOs. Don't you like agree with me that the quality standard of those MMOs is like lower than, let's say, 2 years ago?
Yes and no. It's weird because with MMOs it's kind of like a variety pack thing, right? You get a lot of different flavors and a lot of different themes going on there. And so with Revelation Online, you're gonna get a lot of the standard cookie cutter stuff, but at the same time they have flight combat. It has a great combat system, and from what I played of it, it's a very solid title. Now, is it groundbreaking? Okay. No. Albion Online, on the other hand, it kind of brings back memories of the Ultima days, where it's very hardcore and it's a very original experience. It's going to be cross-platform across any type of PC, any type of mobile device. So that's going to be a very interesting experience. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I also was gonna put Age of Wushu 2 on here. That's also another experience. When it comes to MMOs though, the AAA MMOs, they still go through the same process as the other MMOs for me. Like I'll play them for a couple months, I'll get done with all the content that I care about, such as like the dungeons, the end game, stuff like that, and I'll get to a point where there's really not much I could do, and then I'll quit them and move on to the next one. So that's how I treat MMOs. They're not like home bases for me. They're just sort of different destinations, so to speak.
Okay. And if we look at like every platform here, of course, who's going to win? We now like told our personal preferences. But if you look at from a business perspective, or what platform will come out on top? For example, will the Switch outsell the PS4 and Xbox One in 2017? So something crazy like that, or what's your take? Of course, PC. How do you determine that? But maybe if we look back at the end of 2017 and we'll see, okay, what platform had the best games in terms of quality, where everyone agrees. What do you think will happen? Yeah,
so financially speaking, it's a no-brainer that PC is going to outsell every single one of them combined, because that's the statistics at this point. Because of the large multiplayer games. Now, if you're talking about like a better comparison, I think is like Nintendo, Xbox One, you know, PS4 in terms of their consoles. So when it comes to the PlayStation 4, I think the Pro will have a good sales at the end of the year due to the holiday, and they'll drop the price, stuff like that, so that's going to help them out. But there's already a lot of people with PlayStation 4, so they have a tall order there. Xbox One, we've already seen that yes, they're selling more, but they still are pretty lackluster in sales. And with the Scorpio, I think that's going to cannibalize the Xbox One S sales, and people are going to be looking at the Scorpio a bit more when they walk in holiday of 2017 and see it on the shelves. And then you have Nintendo with the Switch.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry to, do you think that the Scorpio will really cannibalize the Xbox One S sales, because the PS4 Pro is out as well now, and there are still a ton of normal regular PS4s getting sold, because that thing is like, in the Netherlands right now, it's $230 to buy a PS4. That's insane. While the Pro is, of course, still $400. So, yeah, and people in the store are just like, what's the difference? Well, the Pro is 4K and the other one isn't. Oh, I still have a HD TV. Okay, I will just do the regular one.
Well, but it's gonna cannibalize it in the sense that it's gonna split the sales. How much it will, that depends. I mean, it really depends on the price point. I'm guessing that Microsoft's gonna say 500 plus. If they go with that, it's probably not going to cannibalize it that much. If they say $400, I could see more people buying a Scorpio or thinking harder about buying a Scorpio than buying the Xbox One. Because the biggest stigma that the Xbox One had over time was it's not powerful enough. It doesn't measure up to the competition. So I think that is what is going to be in consumers' minds, and that's why I think the Scorpio has a higher chance to cannibalize the sales of the Xbox One S than the PlayStation 4 Pro ever did with the PlayStation 4. The stigma wasn't there. In terms of Nintendo, the Switch, I'm skeptical. I think it will sell more than both of them. But in terms of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, just because it's a brand new console and it's going to be cheap. But at the same time, this is going to be sort of the revelation of whether or not Nintendo has screwed over people too much with the Wii U, especially with like rumors now that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild might not show up on there. They delayed it to release on the Switch and the Wii U when it was originally going to release before they came up with the Switch, and it's a lot of random stuff that I'm sure some people were left jaded, even like with the 3DS, with the new 3DS and games performing worse on the old 3DSs. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not that affects how much this will sell, but I think in the end it will still sell a lot because of the fact it's brand new, it's interesting, very easy to market, and it's definitely captivating in terms of when you market it. It's like, oh, that looks amazing.
I don't think that it will sell more than the other consoles, and that's because there are huge third-party games coming out in 2017, Destiny 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and with those games, people will. I mean, I still sometimes read some news that say that a lot of people are still playing their PS3 and Xbox 360 and still haven't jumped to the next platform.
Those
and I think with
bastards.
Red Dead yeah, exactly, with $200 for a new console, man, come on. No, but anyway, I think that, for example, Red Dead will really help create new interest. And if the PS4 has a bundle with Red Dead in holiday 2017, man, that's going to sell a ton. And then Nintendo can have Pokemon, but that's of course also big. But I still think that will be like more expensive, and I don't know. It will be a super interesting year, and I think that looking at what we can expect in terms of games, in terms of hardware, it will be one of the most interesting years in years.
Yeah, I mean I don't know, for me it just really comes down to the fact that the Switch is definitely going to be fresh on people's minds. It's going to be cheap, even though there's going to be a lot of third-party games releasing on each of the other platforms. I think that some of them might come to the Switch, enough of them to maybe sort of counteract that. And
I don't know.
And well, I mean, Nintendo has to at this point, right? I mean, I'm going based off speculation of what Nintendo is going to do. I mean, are we going to see the Wii U Nintendo, or are we going to see a new Nintendo? And so I'm hoping, and I'm just sort of putting the best foot forward, saying that Nintendo's going to learn their lesson and have learned their lesson, but we won't really see that until it releases. And so I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to sell more, not than both of them combined, but at least it's going to come in first for the year.
Okay.
It's not going to, of course, catch up to the PlayStation 4 ever for global sales or anything like that. But I don't think it's a tall order to outsell either of them because of the fact that there's already so many of them out there. And so it's going to be tough for Sony and Microsoft to sell their consoles because there is so much of a market already there that already owns it. Now, of course, you have those people with the PlayStation 3s and the Xbox 360s. But a lot of them, they're just not gonna upgrade, man. I was on a ride with this one particular guy, because I take different ride sharing services like Lyft and Uber, and he was talking about how he still has an Xbox 360, and I asked him what stopped you to upgrade to an Xbox One. He is just like, there's still games on the Xbox 360 that I want to play, and there's not really a reason for me to upgrade.
Wait for the Rockstar marketing, man. It's going to take over the world.
This guy was still playing Battlefront and just older Battlefield games. Like,
yeah, okay.
I think the market that's on the older systems still are just super casual people that don't really buy new hardware really easily. Or at all until it's super
But for 199, it will probably be around that. You can have like a PS4, probably Horizon at the holiday, so people will buy it. I mean, right now it's still like I have my aunt is working at a game store, and she says, well, PS4 is just every hour there's a new PS4 sold, and she works in a small shop, and of course it's like a weird, it's like. Yeah, it could be anything, but still, I see a lot of people that are still, waiting to make that jump and still haven't had a lot of games.
I'm looking at a VG charts comparison here of like year-over-year hardware sales for PlayStation 4, and in 2016, what they have is basically around, I would say about 8 million sold, maybe 10 million with December because they don't have December yet. So I don't know. I think that with Switch being so new, they could do that. I don't see really an issue with that. I don't think that
8 million in 1 year.
I could. The PlayStation 4 was able to do it, and it's years later, and so I don't know.
Yeah, but the Wii U sold. Okay, that's the Wii U though. But that sold like in total like around the 12 million. So then the Switch is going to outsell the Wii U in almost 1 year.
You better hope it does, because if it doesn't, Nintendo's in a big trouble.
No, it will totally. I think that in the first month they will probably hit the 2 million shipped or something like that, and then when we hit holiday, it could be around the 8 million, 10 million. I totally believe that could be the case.
It's realistic. I mean, it really is.
Okay.
It's not a tall order.
No.
To achieve. It's just an order that they need to achieve to really just be relevant again. So I don't know. I think the platforms in 2017, they're all looking good except for, like we keep saying, Xbox One. I mean,
they really have to do something at E3, and
they do.
Hopefully release those games in 2017. But that will be or play the Greatness Awaits game as well. Like say, okay, in 2018-19 we will have those games. They have to do something.
They got to.
But anyway, but we already made a topic really discussing why would you buy an Xbox One right now. So you can check that out on the channel. Anyway, Zach, is there anything else you want to add, or do you think that this
I think this wraps it up, and I think it was an interesting discussion. And if you guys want a more detailed breakdown of each platform, we will be doing those on the Everything Gaming podcast. So stay tuned for that.
Exactly. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe for more gaming discussions. We have a ton of stuff up on the channel, and we will do a ton of more in-depth analysis of 2017 and share our predictions. So be sure to check that out. Like the video if you did, and I will speak to you next time.